My name is Clare Harker and I'm head teacher, obviously not a pupil, in St Albert's Primary School in Pollokshield. It's a beautiful school. I've got some notes here, but I'll try and talk from the heart. We've been involved with the Social Enterprise Academy for quite a number of years now and had invaluable support from them, and we've run projects in Primary 7. And that's the reason why I've got no kids here, because they've all moved on. They've done amazingly well, and we have won awards with Social Enterprise. So we've done things like the children identified a need for homework clubs in our school in English, because most of our children don't speak English when they go home. So they ran a homework club and then used the money to reinvest in school resources, which was just quite incredible. The children, the big one that we did win an award for, the children also, and I swear it is the children, identified a need for a conversation context for our parents who didn't speak English, which has a direct impact on the uptake of English of children at home. And also we have families from Syria who were new to English. So our children ran Cafe Connect, they called it. So it was literally just a cafe, cup of tea, a cake, and it was mainly our women would come in and start building relationships in the school. And I'll tell you what they did with that money in a minute. And then last year we looked at an arts project because our children don't often, they work very hard outside of school, so they don't often get a chance to do art. So we looked at our arts project and we connected with a local social enterprise, the Milk Cafe in Victoria Road. And they're, one of their groups of women who are female refugees came and taught our children art. And our children were then going to take those skills and teach art through the Southside Fringe to other children. That bit didn't quite work out because we had like stuff going on in the school and inspection, and that didn't quite work out for us, but we did do something clever with the money. We gave it back to the Milk Cafe. The children made art, sold it in various different contexts, and gave it back to the Milk Cafe because the Milk Cafe needed money for a new oven. So we were delighted to invest in that. But we had, and we were talking about this at the break there, there was a light bulb moment with last year, and we had the fortune to host some visitors from Kenya. They come to our school quite a lot. British Council visitors come to our school quite a lot because it's quite an unusual context. So we had visitors from Kenya, the Minister for Education, I think, and Abdullah Sher, who is an incredible child and came to us 3 years ago from Pakistan without any English. Abdullah Sher was presenting what they'd done. Now, we didn't rehearse it. We don't practice, obviously, don't practice things at all. And Abdullah started talking about his project and the work that he'd done with refugees. And he said two major things, right? I mean, it really were light bulb moments. He said, doing social enterprise has made me realise how privileged I am, that I can come here with no English, learn English and talk to you, the Minister for Education in Kenya. And then he said a second thing. He said that it had made him think differently about business, that he had developed a conscience and he wanted to make a difference. Now, after picking ourselves up off the floor, and the Minister for Education in Kenya was tweeting Kenya, saying we're changing education because he was so impressed, I realised that social enterprise should not be, certainly in a primary school context, simply a project that we do at the end of the year to raise money to go on a school trip. We had to embrace the entrepreneurship of our children, and our children do have very, very strong business models outside of school. Our children from primary 1 up can make money. They can organise themselves. They don't need to understand about a business plan. They don't need to be organised by us. They need to understand what entrepreneurship is in terms of their skills, but they need to understand, and social entrepreneurship has to underpin everything they do. They shouldn't do social enterprise on a Friday afternoon. Social entrepreneurship should be just an endemic and an organic part of our curriculum because it's connected with fundamental principles of justice and you know, creating conscience-led communities. So that's where we're going, okay? And I'm just trying to think of what I did want to say. Yeah, so we want to look at those principles, but one of the reasons why we are going to move towards social entrepreneurship as a model is that in gathering data about the statistics of our children, most of our children are Asian Pakistani, they will do better. They will do better in school than white Scottish children. That's a generalisation, but the statistics are higher, but they will do worse in the workplace. They will do disproportionately worse in the workplace according to their qualifications than white Scottish children. And see, when I read that, we need to change that. And we can only change that by giving our children what social entrepreneurs have: resilience, guts, confidence, courage, and the desire and the want to change. So we were fortunate enough to win an award, and I don't know if we'll win it again, because I don't think we'll present as a project. We will present in terms of the entrepreneurship learning. So there might not be one thing to look at. There might be lots of things to look at. So I had a slide with a photograph on it, and I don't know, is it there? Yeah, okay. I need to tell you that see the boy Abdullah Sher that I talked about, right? So the year before, they had run this conversation cafe. So every Tuesday afternoon they ran a conversation cafe, and they made 600 quid. And they had decided that 600 quid was going to go to our Syrian fathers to allow them to access English lessons, because obviously it was part of their whole integration is a terrible word, but it's part of their whole settling here. They have to do English lessons in a class with a teacher shouting at them, which is not great if you're an educated person but simply don't speak English. So they wanted to create context for these dads to learn English. So we hired a bus and we took the families to the seaside in Ayr in November. The dads, the kids, the mums and some of the teachers. And we're sitting on the beach in Ayr, and the men have all got their shisha pipes out, lighting fires, and folk are getting past going, what's going on, And then stopping, and we're telling them, we're going, oh, that's beautiful, right? That's absolutely beautiful. So there's massive context for learning English. The kids bought chips, blah, blah, blah. And we took this picture. This is Hamzi Al-Zubi from Syria. And this resonated with us because it was a time when there were very different pictures of Syrian families on beaches. And we felt that picture represents what our school and social enterprise is all about. And that's really just hope. And that's the word that our school is built on. So thank you for being social entrepreneurs. Thank you for listening. If you like what we say and you think you want to get engaged with schools, we're St Albert's Primary in Pollokshields, and we'd love to meet you. Thank you. We've got a good thing going with the Milk Cafe. And there's an opportunity, there's always opportunities for business partners to come into schools, even if it's just a conversation about what happens next day. So in secondary and primary schools, we need that. Kids can't just be brought up in school with teachers, you need much more experience in that. Otherwise, children are just working with people that have spent their whole lives in school. Yeah. We do get asked to share. I was able to speak yesterday in Edinburgh about equalities because of the unique profile of our school. So we do get asked to share, but it works for us in our context. I mean, you have to really think about the context and what your children need to learn. I do think all children would benefit from this. And again, it's a competitive thing. Sometimes schools find it very difficult. This can be quite an isolating profession. So I would love to share, and we do talk to other people, but other people's agendas might be different than ours. So there are some opportunities, yeah, and through the Enterprise Academy as well. Everything's easier for children. I mean, you know that phrase, if I knew then what I knew now? I think you should flip that up. Wouldn't you still just like to view the world from a child's eye? Wouldn't that be just a gift for 24 hours? Kids can do, I mean, I really do believe that. That's not naive. I've seen it. Your children can do anything you task them with, but they'll do it their way. So it might not be neat and tidy in a wee box, but it'll be done. So I don't think they have, the idea, like, this is going to sound ridiculous and such a hippie thing to say. We are a school of faith as well, but this applies. Obviously, justice isn't contained to a school of faith, but how we get over a school of faith with no one from the faith school that is in it. So we're a Catholic school, we're not Catholics, right? Don't film that. How we get over it, what we talk about is politically and with faith. All you can do just now is hold your neighbour's hand. That's it. That's all we can do to change the world. So that's what we do. So we hold our neighbour's hand, and that's what social enterprise, I think, is all about. You wouldn't, if you didn't have that. I don't mean faith, spiritual faith, but if you didn't have faith in communities, you wouldn't do it. Children do. They believe they can change things, and we're not going to beat it out of them.
Yeah.